Hi everyone, so in today's video, I think it's going to be a quick one. I'm going to try out the Having a Ball die and press auto ship that I just received yesterday or maybe the day before. I did a little quick haul video unboxing of them, but today I'm going to try it out and I'm going to make a pretty quick card in my opinion. The reason I think it's going to be pretty quick is because I'm going to use some pretty cardstock, and I think I'm just going to use the watermelon slices because the other one's also pet related, so I figure, okay, I'll leave the other pet related things for the other auto ship, and on this one, I'm going to focus more on these fun things. I mean, you can even make a card just with the sunglasses, and then they have a sentiment, "You are my sunshine," you know, I mean, cute, right? Different ways to use that, but I think I'm gonna use that guy, so we'll do a little bit of coloring, because it's a nice size, right? I mean, even the sunglasses, they're a nice size, so they can make their own little motif or vignette or however. I mean, the beach ball, really, really nice. Oh, and it has the sun. Okay, you know what? I didn't realize that because I was thinking about the sunglasses. It'd be cute to add a little sun too. But anyway, we're gonna do that. Again, this is an auto ship. It's not available yet that I've seen on HSN or, you know, any overstock on Diamond Press, but I think they do have still a few, like a handful of some of the other iterations, which include like the Santa Claus, call it Santa Paws, and then the Valentine one, I believe. So 11-inch piece of cardstock, I cut it 5.5. I'm gonna score it at 4.25. So if I link those will be affiliate links, which means I'll make a small commission if you purchase items to those links. But again, it's not this iteration here. This piece of cardstock has been sitting in my scrap basket, and I see it like every day, and I want to use it this side. But then I thought, well, it has a lot of white, and if I put the little watermelons, I don't know if it's gonna stand out as much as I would like. So this side is very cute. I love the pink and everything, so I think I'm gonna use this side. And let me see if I can cut this paper where I need it to be 5.5. Oh, no, 5.5, 5 3/8. Ooh. I'm trying to get this piece over here, and I'm using the very end of this to actually make it make sense. So let me see if I can make sure I might have cut something off that paper. It looks kind of weird. So let's say 5 3/8. I know I cut a piece off here, that's why it's crooked. No, the top is straight, okay. By 4 1/8, because that's the kind of matte layer I like. Yeah, my 5 3/8 was off. So again, 5 3/8. It was off like the smallest little hair there. Okay. And I'm just going to glue that down to begin with, okay? I'll be right back. And just put glue all over the back of that. We'll stick that down. And, excuse me, my goodness. I was saying the other day I designed a card in Cricut Design Space with the word hello, and what I was going to do is basically something similar. In my mind, I thought, oh, I can take the hello from this. This is cute. I literally just made a card like that. And I'm going to run it through this black paper so it really pops. And then we're just going to add a couple of watermelon slices, and I think that'll be cute. I mean, you can obviously mix all those little summery things, and it'll be very adorable. And I think I'm going to orient it this way. I'm not sure if it wouldn't fit the other way anyway, so I was going to go this way. So I'm just going to run that through and I'll be right back. Okay, I should always close this up. And we have this hello. And I just want one layer of it. This is some heavyweight cards. Actually, it's not that heavyweight, but just some cardstock. And I like the way that pops. It's going to be very quick. Simple. If you want to make that, you know, sturdier, run it through another time and go ahead and do that. And you know, I think I might. Honestly, this is thinner than I like. A lot of times I use heavyweight cardstock, but this is just some A4 cardstock, so it must have been from like Crafter's Companion or something. And it's not the thickest cardstock I have. So I'm just gonna cut that down, and I'm gonna glue those together. And I did another black one. Just a lot of times I'll not matte layer, but like build these up with white. But I think it's gonna be so stark against this black. I'm just gonna go with black and black, and glue these guys together. And a lot of time when it's something like this, I put the glue on the back of the one, the front of this one, doesn't matter. You're just gonna glue two of them together. I'll show you. I kind of go slowly because this is a little bit gangly, and I don't even know if that's a word, but you know what I mean. And we'll start with it in one side, just making sure that lines up pretty good. And once you do that, it generally falls in place, but I haven't squished this down yet. There we go. There we go. Looks good. And down here. Okay, I'm gonna let that set up and clean up just a bit. Okay, so We have that. Yeah, that looks sturdier. It just looks nicer. Okay. I did pick this up recently from Crafter's Companion, just more of their Spectrum Noir premium marker pad, and I like loose sheets when I go to stamp and then color something, but I'm willing to give this a try. I think I've had it in the past. I just have a big stack of some Sheena ones from a long time ago from Crafter's Companion. I know she's back there, but you guys know she was gone for a very long time, so you can imagine the paper's really old, and I'm getting down to the last few sheets. So I'm going to use this. Again, it's alcohol ink marker pad, so it shouldn't suck things up. And then I'll just stamp with a hybrid ink pad, but you can definitely use just a water-based ink. Your dye inks would work if you're going to use alcohol ink markers to color something. Oh, does this fit? Oh, that's perfect. Okay, and I just want a couple of these guys. Do I want a couple or 3? I don't know, let that soak in. Cute. And people ask, you know, if I prep my stamps anyway, if they're having difficulty with theirs. You saw what I just did. I just took it off the thing and went for it. A lot of times when a stamp has a thin line, it's easier. Okay, I'll cut 3 in case we need them, but I don't know that I'll use all 3. Okay. Oh, I was gonna say that'd be cute if you made one look like a half slice, like here. Huh. I don't know, I can do it. Because the die and then the other side of that, I don't know. I would just take a, you know, your, what are they called? Those black pens. Let me get one. These guys. And just change the sizing of it, you know? So then you have something different. But anyway, sorry, it's a micron. I was like, Sigma? I don't remember what it was called. For some reason, even though I've used them for decades now. Okay, I'm going to let that dry. And then we're going to color it in. Okay, guys. So, you know, usually watermelon has that little white area, but this one, it looks like it goes from one to the other. If you want to leave this little area kind of lighter, you know, and then deeper red. But we're just going to go with the 2 colors. So I have this green, and I'm just going to use the medium, just kind of, I'm using the bullet tip side of it, because the watermelon doesn't look too wide in that area, but let me see, maybe I can. So I'm just using the darker, and then let's see if we can use the brush tip. I'll get closer here. And yeah, I can see I have to be very careful. And you can leave it like that to make it look shinier in the center, and then just do it again. Not shinier, but like less depth of color there, so it looks like it's more rounded. I can come back in here with a little bit of the green. Kind of went away a lot. Again, because it's so small, I'm not going to spend a lot of time with a darker shade than medium. There we go. And then, let's see. I'm just doing a quick color in. This is the lightest red, and then we can get the darkest red. Again, you don't have to do it this way. I'm kind of leaving a little bit of a white area. I don't know if it's going to work. And then maybe the medium, since this is a larger area. I don't mind. Oh, again, I didn't leave a spot in the center. Actually, we can still take care of that, so we can go back in with the darkest and leave an open area in the middle that is going to be lighter. And then come back through and blend it all in with the lightest color. Again, leaving that center area for a moment. And then just come back through and do it again. Actually, this paper is really big. Sorry. There we go. And that's how I'm going to do it. So the other 2, very similar. Okay? And I'll be right back. Okay, guys. I definitely have some allergies going on. Because even the other day I was walking in, it didn't smell like, kind of smelled like cut grass, but it was more of the citrus smell. So, like, you know, all our, well, I see that in my own yard, the, my little citrus trees are blooming and causing me some problems. Let's see. I mean, I can see pretty well there. I would not be happy if I was off though. So again, this is alcohol ink marker paper. I would take a scrap of this and run it through, but I would not waste this paper because it usually costs more than other papers. So I'm gonna grab a scrap of anything here. That's also good. Here, there's just this little piece that's something else from another day. Let's see here. And I always try to go with an area that's more flat. That would be up here, but then this is kind of making it not flat, so let's go there. And I'm going to run this through so we can make a little window for ourselves. And I don't know where you are on your crafting journey, but this is a really good tip to use. We've been doing it for decades. So pop that out. You can use that again if you really want to. I mean, you can stamp on it. But for me, that's just kind of trash. Unless you're going to do a drop shadow, I would run this through the color you want to drop shadow, and then you have that piece to use. But basically, you don't take this off. You just open the little hinge and see where you're going to cut. And yeah, that is a really close border, and I probably would have been way off. So let me see. Maybe a little higher up. It's hard to see because it's white on white cardstock, but that's pretty good. Now, I definitely usually tape this again, but I have my other little motif right under there, and I don't want to do that. So I'm going to hold it really tight and hope for the best as I guide it through. And then I'll keep using that same little window we just made ourselves to help me cut the other guys out. Yep, and no movement at all. Look at that. Super close. We love that, don't we? Yeah. So again, just hinge this up. If it moves at all, just make sure you pop it right back down where it came out of. What I mean by that is when I go here, just make sure this hinges right back into the same little spot. There we go. And, you know, the little cutout. Okay, I'll be back. All right. I had to reinforce with one other piece of this because I'll show you what happened. Well, let's pop this out. This piece of tape cut in half, or cut the piece off. I'll show you what I mean. This, right? So again, you want to make sure it drops right back down into the spot that it cut out from, right? And so I had to add another little piece of tape. Okay, so let's get rid of that. It's over here. And let's see, like I said, I don't know if I'll use all three, but I do have them, so maybe we'll use all three. Because if I was going to do that, I would put something like back here, and then a couple other pieces like here. They all look very much the same, though. That's, you know, the only thing as far as this. That's cuter. Okay, I'm going to commit to some of this because I need to stick some of this stuff down, and I think I like the way it looks better that way. And I'm just gluing this down, but if you really wanted to, you can put some dimensionals to like maybe pop up one of the corners. Okay, so let me hold that down. And then these guys can be there. That can be there. That looks cute with this one coming out from the back. And then the other one popped up. I'm just going to put glue so I don't have to move that because I like exactly where it is. Okay. And then let's get some glue on this. Oop. Okay, I'm just going to line this out with glue and I'll be right back. Okay, and pat a little bit of that off. See how it kind of comes out the side. And putting this in here, what I would consider center. I'm going to straighten this out. And again, I'm eyeballing that. As always. Okay, I'm going to hold that down and I'll be back. I'm going to get some dimensionals of this guy. Okay, so I put some dimensionals in the back of this guy and I'm going to pop that on. And like down in here. Very cute. It's almost the same angle. I like to make them look different, but love the way it came out. Just really fresh and fruity and cute for summertime. You know, if you want to pop on some little sequins, some pearls, some rhinestones, all those kinds of things people like to add extra, but I feel like that looks really fresh and cute just the way it is. So thanks for watching, guys. Just a quick idea. I'll have images coming up, links as appropriate in the description box, possibly embedded in the video, and I'll see you all at the next one. Bye now.